Hello, I'm Dr. Brenda Craig, Superintendent of Fremont RE2, and I'm honored to be with you, albeit virtually, delivering a speech at graduation. This is my 30th year in education, and I've delivered numerous graduation speeches. And every year I anchor my thoughts to the graduates in a good old Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. It's a wonderful book about all the options that are open to you after you graduate high school. And I encourage you, if you haven't read it, to please do so. However, this year I found myself struggling a little bit with looking forward into all the options that are open to you, and found myself being far more reflective about where you have been. Since March, as you know, we have been dealing with a worldwide pandemic, COVID-19 virus. And that has really forced us to retool and learn new things and approach life differently. One of those things was how we connected and using social media, which you are all far more proficient on than I am. But I found myself increasing my screen time each week and trying to stay connected. And one of the things that became noticeable to me as the ability to hold a traditional graduation became slimmer and slimmer was the negativity by graduates, and I'm not talking about you, I'm stereotyping here, around why is this happening to me? This isn't fair. I deserve better, we deserve better, the graduating class of 2020. And surprisingly, I found myself getting a little irritated because I personally don't believe that anything happened or was done purposely to you. But yet, if you take a moment and you reflect about what has happened, you will see that the world can change in a moment. And in fact, it did. And what you persevered through, you learned how to adapt, you learned how to be flexible, you retooled yourself in how you learned how to learn. You learned great life skills that I think will carry you much farther than possibly anything else you can learn from a textbook. They're very, very valuable. It was evident by things that changed during the pandemic. There were things that changed from morning till night as restrictions began to roll out. So I invite you to really be thoughtful and take those moments of reflection, because great things come out of challenging times. And so I invite you, as you move into graduation, to look at this glass of water with me. And what do you see? Do you see a glass that's half empty? Or do you see a glass that's half full? You get to make that choice. Congratulations to the class of 2020. I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to see all the things you accomplish.
Good evening, Husky Nation. I'm grateful for the wonderful opportunity to be with all of you tonight. I want to welcome parents, students, community, Dr. Craig, all the RE2 faculty, and the Board of Education as we are excited to celebrate the senior class of 2020. Normally, we would be sitting in a gym full of graduates, parents, and extended family. However, this is not a typical year. We are forced to join each other under restrictive and interesting circumstances. The last 3 months of your lives have been nothing short of a theatrical movie. Throughout this global pandemic, the world forced you to see what you are truly made of as an individual, a family member, and as a young adult. Sometimes there were tears, pain, anger, sadness, fear, and even some anxiety on what would happen next. I'm here to tell you that there is nothing wrong with feeling that way, and no one could ever dismiss how you feel. While COVID-19 stole moments of your life away without permission, you have persevered and risen to the level of expectation of what Husky Nation is all about. To restate a comment, when joining the Florence community, there were very specific and non-negotiable items I was looking for in a new school. a willingness to grow, pride, grit, and a sense of community. The COVID-19 crisis has reaffirmed how amazing our students, community, and school is. I've seen our students and community come together to support each other, or even those they don't normally talk to. I've seen a community realize how important public education is on our society and support Florence Junior Senior High School students 100%. Husky Nation is the example the rest of the world needs to see. I'm so proud to be a principal in a community who sees a problem and finds a solution. So proud to be a principal in a community that finds a way and not an excuse. As I reflect back to the beginning of the year, many of you seniors came into this school year with hesitancy, excitement, anxiety, and fear of the unknown. And why wouldn't you? We had a new administration, we're combining 2 schools into one, and another new thing that you had to experience and endure. There are still many questions and concerns, but as senior leaders of Florence Junior Senior High School, you ran with it, whether you liked it or not. You accepted the Husky challenge of being a leader, and you haven't looked back since. Now I want to fast forward to today. Boy, has your lives and the world changed. While this year was not easy, we look back on how you seniors have persevered through the transition, how you've dealt with so many tribulations and are still standing Husky strong. You haven't just survived this year, you have been resilient and strong. You have weathered the loss of fellow students, personal hardships, and other big changes, and even a COVID-19 pandemic. This will be the year to be remembered for decades to come. But what I will remember is that this was the year that the class of 2020 grew from boys and girls to young men and women. You adjusted your way of thinking, and you let your light shine bright. You did not let circumstances or a pandemic get in the way of your graduation or your plans. Be proud, Husky Nation, and celebrate. This crisis has reminded us that sometimes life's journey can bring you to your knees. It can bring you lower than you think you can go. But if you stand up and move forward, if you go just a little bit farther, you are embracing adversity and fighting for your dreams. While it wasn't easy, this 2020 senior class rose out of the ashes stronger. And you are ready to take on the world. You let the sun rise, and you begin to earn and create your own story. Today, we celebrate you. Today is the beginning of your new chapter. My advice to you is to wake up every day and show up. You now belong to a new world of new changes. You are creating your own story and your own personal legend. I'll close with this. Remember to be honest, have integrity, and honor your word, because being who you are is a responsibility that can't be taken lightly. It's getting up when you've been knocked down and fighting when they tell you to quit. It's being better when the odds are against you, but it is when the odds are against you. That's when Huskies rise to the occasion. The world will look at you and wonder, why? And how do they do it? Why do they work harder than everyone else? It's because you were born and bred with a Husky mentality. This is a mentality that makes your family proud. Congratulations to the senior class of 2020, and remember that tough times don't last, tough people do.
Through our years in school, we all have those teachers that leave a lasting impact. While our class wasn't lucky enough to be blessed to sit in a math class with this man, many of us were lucky enough to meet him through the wrestling program and many other opportunities. So at this time, I'd like to introduce our commencement speaker, Mr. Bob Anderson.
Graduating class of Florence High School of 2020, congratulations to you. I would first of all like to thank Cassie Campbell for inviting me to speak at your graduation. It is truly a privilege to be here. Congratulations, graduates. You have made it through a very uncertain year, and I am very proud of you for your accomplishments, and you should be very proud of yourselves for making it through a tough year. But you've made it, and you've made it to a great accomplishment. I would like to recognize a few people that have helped you get here. First of all, I'd like to recognize your families, your parents, guardians, grandparents, extended families, anyone who has provided support and encouraged you and helped you along the way to get to your graduation day. I would also like to recognize the school personnel, administrators, bus drivers, custodians, aides, food service workers, all the people that make the daily routine of school happen. Third, the people that are very dear to me are my friends and former colleagues and former students that are the teachers of Fremont RE2. Every one of you have made this day possible for these young people. I thank you for your dedication, for your devotion to seeing young people succeed. You look back at August, seniors, and you walked into the school with great anticipation of what your high school senior year would be. You had great plans. You had started making plans even for graduation back then. But you got through Christmas, you got through January, February, and then came March. And little did we know that when we rolled our clocks forward in March from Mountain Time Zone, we'd be going directly into the Twilight Zone. But you have succeeded. You have pushed forward. You have shown the strength and courage and character to get through the tough times. And there is an old Yiddish quote that says, "Man plans and God laughs," because life is going to change what happens when you make plans, and it changes almost on a daily basis. I would like to share with you two hopes of mine for you and our generation and our country. I would like to first hope that our role models and our heroes would change. The doctors, nurses, CNAs, custodial staff, all healthcare personnel, the jobs they've done to help us through this time has been incredible. It's very easy to get on the internet and find heroes. There are so many people doing great things at this time. But sometimes we don't get to hear about our local heroes. I would like to share a story of one of our local heroes. Virginia Herrera graduated from Florence High School in 1958. She is 80 years old. She has worked at the Head Start in the kitchen as a cook and is now the nutritional manager at Head Start and has been there for the last 52 years. She raised her family here in Florence, and let me just tell you a little bit about what happened with her. When the shutdown came in March, the stay-at-home, at the request of her family, when Head Start was okay to feed students and families again, at the request of her family to stay home, Virginia would have none of that. She wanted to go back, get the program up and running, and get people fed that were in need. After a few days back at work, she got sick. A few days later, she's in the hospital with COVID-19. 40 days on a ventilator. But in the last few days, she's been taken off the ventilator part-time with a trach, and she is recovering and doing better. She is a local hero to me because she has the selflessness, the dedication, and the desire to help other people. Virginia, we wish you a speedy recovery, and we thank you for your dedication. Second, I hope we become a kinder, gentler, more caring, and more compassionate society. There's a line in a Casey Musgrave song that says, "Pouring salt in my tea won't make yours any sweeter." By putting people down, we don't make ourselves better. By criticizing or shaming people, we don't make ourselves better. We make ourselves better by encouraging, by supporting, by being positive, by being good role models. I encourage you graduating seniors to make this change in our society. Congratulations once again, seniors. This is a very big day for you. This is one of the biggest days of your life. But in a minute, I'm going to share a quote with you about the two most important days of your life. You're going to go on to do great things, reach many accomplishments, but through this whole thing, you've learned that you can get through the highs and the lows of life. I would like to have you think about the big days coming. You might be going off to college, going to the military, being married, having kids, all those good things. But I would like to leave you with a quote from Mark Twain. Mark Twain said, "The two most important days of your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why." Congratulations, seniors. Enjoy your life's journey and go find out why. Thank you and congratulations.
Our next speaker, who is Miss Cara Cavalier, who is our salutatorian.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to celebrate an achievement, a milestone and a stepping stone for the future, with our friends and our family. In class of 2020, give yourselves a pat on the back because we did it. We came to this place wide-eyed, full of potential, and a little nervous, even though we didn't want to admit it. We had a plan for how this chapter of our life was going to go, and what we were going to achieve in the next 4 years. We had blank pages we had to fill every day that determined where our story was going to lead us next. But I know most of us thought we knew what each page of this chapter was going to be, or at least an idea, and how we would transition into our next chapter. In one way or another, we all failed. In these past 4 years, most of us thought that we knew exactly what we wanted and that we knew how this chapter was going to end, and feared that it wasn't going to be what we expected. And that if something went wrong, it would ruin the whole story. But we were wrong, and I'm glad we were wrong, because we lived our lives, as in, we failed and picked ourselves back up again, and made mistakes that whiteout couldn't fix. But we're here now, and even though it was hard to imagine how much could change after one chapter, we still got here. And through all the hardships, we learned and grew to who we are today. And we should be proud, even if it wasn't what we expected, because our story isn't done yet. And us sitting here proves just that. So, as we take these next steps, just remember that odds are we won't exactly know what will happen next, but learn to be okay with that. We are just now beginning our adult lives after 18 years, and we will grow and learn so much more. And whether you're working, going to college, or going into the military, your past will carry you through all the rough times. And even though we are moving on, let us all not forget the valuable lessons we've learned here.
At this time, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, your valedictorian, Sydnee Connors.
Most of us graduating today were born in the year of or around the time of 9/11, me being born only 3 days following the tragic event. And now, here we are, graduating in the midst of a global pandemic. On the first day of first grade, our teachers told us for the next 12 years we would be working towards one goal, graduating high school. And each year, our teachers told us to work hard and stay focused. Every single one of us has put forth the effort in order to reach this goal. And the last 3 months of our senior year were ripped away from us by a virus. We got to see every senior class before us enjoy these months we're missing out on. We got to see them enjoy their final season of a spring sport, enjoy their last band or choir concert, enjoy saying their goodbyes to their favorite teachers, enjoy walking out of class for the last time, enjoying being with their class one last time at Fun Fest, and enjoy watching each other walk across the stage to receive their diploma. But the class of 2020 will never get to experience these moments. We didn't know our last day was our last day, or that it was the last time we'd see most of our teachers and classmates in school. We didn't know that we'd be walking across the stage, but under different circumstances. But yet, here we are, taking the change as it goes and adapting to it. We faced our real-world problem sooner rather than later, and we faced it together as a class. As Socrates once said, the secret of change is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but building on the new. Every class before us has had their share of challenges and changes, and the class of 2020 is no different. Throughout our schooling, we've had to face many new changes and learn as we go. In 6th grade, we were the first grade to try out the iPads. As freshmen, we had to transition to a 4-day school week. As seniors, we had a new principal, and the middle schoolers joined us up on the hill. And now we get a non-traditional graduation. However, despite all of these challenges and tribulations that we have faced, we as a class have adapted to it with maturity and kept an open mind. We grew up a little each time we faced a new challenge and learned that change was inevitable. Not only have we faced challenges, but during our time at Florence, we have all met so many amazing people, made lasting friendships, lived through lifelong memories, and made relationships with our teachers that will last us for the rest of our lives. Each of us has had our own experiences at Florence High School, a combination of good and bad, of laughter and of joy, times of school spirit, and of course, times of last-minute studying where the test we forgot was the next day. Do you remember our first night, Friday Night Light as a freshman? We were so excited to attend our very first event as high schoolers. We were cheering for the boys under the lights with our school colors displayed across our faces. We got to spend time with our friends and enjoy finally making it to high school. Do you remember our first tryout as a freshman, whether it be sports or band? We were so nervous because the upperclassmen were so intimidating. We were finally up with the big dogs and getting a chance to show the teachers and coaches our talent. Do you remember our first day as freshmen, not knowing where the classes were and having to ask for directions? Having to introduce ourselves in front of a class that may have included upperclassmen? Changing out for gym and enjoying lifting or playing games? Enjoy walking the halls with our best friends? All of these moments will have lasting effects on us as we move forward. Graduation marks the end in a chapter of our lives. With this one closed, I'm certain that many of you will be anxious to start the next one. Unlike an English book, we cannot skip through the pages of life to see how long the next chapter is going to be. We each have our own book of life that has yet to be written. And as Florence graduates, we've been given all the paper and ink in order to keep writing our story. With that being said, I would like to take a moment to thank all of my teachers for all the time and dedication they have devoted to me and all the other graduates. Thank you, Principal Melendrez and community, for making this day so special for us despite the circumstances. Thank you, Mr. Ford, for always making sure I stayed sharp and used my brain to solve every problem. Thank you, Mr. Surface, for keeping my argumenting skills up to par and always putting up a good fight. Thank you, Ms. Oliver, for reminding me that all my hard work will pay off. Thank you, Ms. Berger, for helping me find my love for writing and teaching me to step out of my comfort zone. Thank you, Ms. Lamb, for teaching me what it's like to be a leader on and off the court and always being someone I can turn to. Thank you to my friends, for there's absolutely no way I could have gotten through these last 4 years without you. And thank you, a huge thank you, to my mom, Alicia, sister Chloe, and Grandma and Grandpa for making me the smart, hard-working woman that I am today. I would not be where I am without you guys, and I know I'm making you proud up there, Grams. No matter where each of us started 4 short years ago, what is important now is that we are here to celebrate our triumphs, our achievements, our victories, both individually and as a school, and the journey on which we have all embarked towards our future destinations. The home of the Huskies is also the home of tomorrow's doctors and lawyers, teachers and psychologists, musicians and engineers, architects and nurses. Thank you, congratulations, and best of luck to the class of 2020.
At this time, I'd like to introduce your senior class president, Cassie Campbell.
The 2 most important days of our lives are the day we are born and the day we find out why. Mark Twain. Wow, this day is finally here. The day we've been waiting for since we were old enough to understand what it meant. We're done. And while so many things went off course this year, I am so thankful that I made it this far with the class I did. Through everything, we remained positive and made the best out of all the situations. Tomorrow, many of us will wake up and begin preparing for ship-out dates, move-in dates, or the first day of work. And everything we've done so far will seem so small. Take time to remind yourself to be proud. Soak it in and remember the joy you feel and live with that every day. Life goes fast. I think we can all agree on that, seeing as we're already this far done. I want to leave you with one more thing going into this next adventure. Don't just be yourself. Be all of yourself. Live the life you've always talked about. Be the person you have worked so hard to be, and then amp that person by 10. This is our world now, and there are people relying on us to make it a beautiful one. We end this chapter tonight, and for many of us, we are closing a book. We are deciding who we want to be and what we want to be, and it's more than just a chapter. It's the final chapter in a book we've been writing for what seems like forever. We get to start over tomorrow. We get to meet people we've never met and see things we never imagined we'd see. We get to be whoever we want to be, and we get to change that person every day until we are satisfied. We are turning pages and writing new titles. So, as a symbolic gesture of your completion of high school, class of 2020, you may now turn your tassels. Congratulations, graduates. We really made it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, on behalf of Florence Junior Senior High School and the Fremont RE2 School District, the following students in the graduating class of 2020 have met the graduation requirements and are eligible to graduate.
Hi Florence Huskies, this is Mrs. Draper. I just wanted to say congratulations on all of your accomplishments. We are so excited to see what the future holds for each and every one of you. And always remember, you will always be Huskies.
This is Mrs. Zimmeraj. I want to congratulate the class of 2020 and wish you the best in your future endeavors. Stay Husky strong.
Hey, this is Mrs. Oliver. I just want to congratulate the class of 2020 and wish you luck in all your future endeavors. Stay Husky strong.
Hi, this is Miss Rekovich. Congratulations, class of 2020. Good luck, God bless, go be awesome, and stay Husky strong.
Congratulations to all of you who are walking across the stage. Proud of you. Let's get life going. Best wishes and good luck.
This is Mrs. Berger, and I just want to congratulate the class of 2020 and wish you the very best.
Congratulations, Florence, the amazing class of 2020. Mrs. W loves you. You're the best. Consider yourselves hugged.
Hey, this is Mr. Christensen. I just wanted to wish the class of 2020 congratulations and all the best in your future endeavors. Stay Husky strong.
This is Mr. Sisson, wishing all the graduating seniors congratulations and good luck on their future endeavors. Stay Husky strong.
This is Mr. Wood. Congratulations, class of 2020. You've done a great job. Good luck in everything you do after high school.
Hey Husky Nation, this is Miss Roy. I just want to congratulate the class of 2020 and wish you the best in wherever life takes you. Stay Husky strong.
Hey Tim, it's Melendra. Just give me a quick call back. We're trying to turn on the scoreboard and there's no power going to it. We just wanted to see if there's any other breakers that are not in the press box. If there's other breakers, turn it on. All right, give me a call.
Happy graduation, seniors. Go Huskies. Oh!